Good morning, distinguished guests and members of the Mississauga Board of Trade. My name is John Fisher, and I am from the City of Mississauga Economic Development Office. On behalf of the City, I would like to welcome you to this Doing Business with India event. Thank you to Sheldon Liba and the Mississauga Board of Trade for coordinating this event and the opportunity to speak this morning. At the City of Mississauga, through the Economic Development Office, the Mississauga Business Enterprise Center interacts with thousands of entrepreneurs each and every year. MBOT clients include businesses with local and global connections that are looking to target the $1.9 trillion Indian economy. India's growing population, rising income levels, rapidly expanding manufacturing and services sector, and the associated infrastructure and natural resources requirements make this an easy opportunity for Mississauga and Canadian businesses. Just last year, two-way trade between Ontario and India grew 13% to $1.8 billion. The Canadian Trade Commission has identified India as one of their priority markets and sees opportunities for Canadian businesses in the fields of health, life sciences, agriculture, food, transportation, and infrastructure. The City of Mississauga is proud to sponsor this event to offer our local businesses an opportunity to learn more about India, its vibrant economy, and the opportunities for your business. After today's event, to help local businesses target international markets such as India, the City of Mississauga, through the Mississauga Business Enterprise Center, can direct you to information, tools, resources that may be available for your business. We invite you to pick up a copy of our brochure that will be located either with myself or with Michelle from our office at the back, or please visit our website for further information. I want to thank you all for coming and hope you enjoyed today's speakers and information. Thank you.
Thank you, John, and to MBEC for your support. So right now we're going to move into our program of speakers. You have an agenda at your tables. We have 4 outstanding speakers, and following their remarks, we'll ask them all to come and sit at the front table for a panel Q&A. So as you're listening through the various presentations, if you have any thoughts or specific questions, please write them down. We'll certainly ask you to participate. Great. So now on to our first speaker. Now, you're not going to get any news on doing business in India as current as you're going to get this morning, because this gentleman came from India, back from India last night. Erwin Raj is the president of Indigo Marketing Solutions Limited. He leads a team of experienced marketing and advertising professionals supporting businesses doing business internationally with a strong presence in India. He's also on the consultant roster for the Business Development Bank of Canada, assisting local businesses on their global strategies, again with a specialization on India. Erwin's presentation will help set the tone for today's session with an introduction to India, its economy, key sectors, focus areas of imports and exports, and business relationships with Canada. Please join me in welcoming Erwin Raj.
Good morning, everybody. I just came in last night, so please bear with me if I fall asleep halfway through my presentation. Before I begin my talk on Destination India opportunities for your business, I'd like to draw a small parallel to a similar situation, but exactly in converse. And that would be Destination Canada opportunities for my business. I came to Canada just 3.5 years ago. And to give you a simple example of how difficult it is at times for businessmen from the other side of the planet to adjust here, I would like to share a very amusing incident that I had with one of our early clients. I met this client. I was trying to convince him that he should use our services. And the client listens to a 15-minute pitch from me and finally says, okay, I'm interested. Let's meet at Tim's. And I just looked at this client in total shock, and I was wondering, did I miss something? Who is Tim's? see another client or another consultant. Soon after that, thankfully the client said, and we'll meet at Tim's at Steeles and Highway 10. So I rushed back home, get into Google search, figure out where Tim's is at Steeles and Highway 10. And that was one of the first things that, one of my first very interesting experiences as far as this country was concerned. I'm basically going to introduce you today to India, and I guess from there we're going to head off to an expert session from Ned, who will, I guess, take us forward from here. To start off with, this is a map of India. This shows you India with regard to its geography and its boundaries. It's the world's second largest country by population with 1.2 billion people. More interestingly, please note, it has a growing and a fast-growing middle class of more than 400 million people. To give you perspective, the entire population of Canada is 34 million people. Secondly, it's the world's 7th largest country by landmass. Canada is the world's 2nd largest country. Both countries are extremely rich in resources. It's the world's 3rd largest economy by purchasing power parity, which basically means if you were to equate all our countries on the same purchasing parameters, India is number 3. It follows the United States and China. In terms of nominal GDP, India is number 9, as was mentioned in Sheldon's introduction. It's the world's largest democracy, and a very interesting fact here is that India has the world's largest speaking English population, with more than 350 million people who speak English. In fact, one of the interesting questions I had, especially at my church when I came into Canada, was where did you learn to speak English? So I told them that I bought this book when I was boarding the flight to Chennai. I read through it, and by the time I landed, Bob's your uncle. India's, as far as the states are concerned, India has 28 states and 7 union territories. I'd like to bring one aspect out that's again a very, very good parallel between Canada and India. Both of us are Commonwealth countries. Our styles of government, our systems of taxation, the legal system is as efficient or inefficient, and it's extremely similar as far as both countries are concerned. The Prime Minister is the elected head of the government. We have a president by name, who basically is the head of state. And the Indian legislature basically consists of two houses, the Lok Sabha, or the House of the People, which actually runs the country, and the Rajya Sabha, or the House of the States, which form both the Houses of Parliament. Now, before I move on, I'd just like to show you the principal cities of India. You have Delhi there up north, which is the capital of the country. You have Mumbai here, which is the commercial capital of India. You have Chennai in the south, Bangalore in the south, and Hyderabad in the south, which are the 3 large cities as far as the south of the country is concerned. And we have Calcutta in the east, or the City of Joy, which is known as, basically looking after the state of affairs on the eastern side of the country. Infrastructure. I have been asked this question about 10 or 12 years ago when I was in the United States on a holiday with my wife, and somebody actually asked me, how do you guys go home from the airport? And I said, I didn't quite get you. What do you mean by how do you go home? And they said, no, like, do they have elephants there? So I said, yes, we do have elephants there, but they don't have elephants with meters yet. So, we still have cars and so on. But this kind of shows you the infrastructure as far as airports are concerned. We have a couple of 100 airports spread right across the country. And as you can see, the entire country is very well networked. We have a national carrier by the name of Air India, and we have a whole slew of private carriers as well. Airports International, again, we are very, very well connected. In fact, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal are connected with daily flights through Europe, through the Middle East, and we also have a couple of non-stop flights as well, which connect us straight from Toronto to New Delhi. Therefore, you have at least 3 or 4 flights going out of each city every day to a hub in Europe, and from there you connect to Toronto. Indian railway network is the it's the largest railway network in Asia and the fourth largest railway network in the world. This again shows you how well connected the country is. The Indian Railways are also the sixth largest employer in the world with more than 1.4 million employees. Would someone like to tell me there are two companies which are larger employers than the Indian Railways? Two companies. Would anyone like to have a guess as to which ones they may be? Two private companies.
Walmart.
Sorry?
Walmart.
Walmart. Yes, that's absolutely right. Walmart is one of them with about 2.4 million employees, and the other one is McDonald's. They are also one of the largest employers in the world. But a very interesting statistic, ladies and gentlemen, is the second last one of the Indian Railways transport 20 million passengers every day, which means every 2 days it transports more than the population of Canada. Every 2 days. That kind of shows you how the infrastructure is, and it transports over 2 million tons of goods every day. I was in Delhi 3 days ago, and I had the pleasure of a friend of mine asking me, have you taken the Delhi Metro, which is a new train service that they've got in the city of Delhi? And I said, no, I'd love to do it. And he said, let's hop off this taxi and get onto a train. We first of all take a cycle rickshaw to the metro. So there are two of us, and this friend of mine is 6'3" and he's built to match. And there's this one small cycle rickshaw puller who pulls us along in his cart to the state-of-the-art Delhi Metro. And I must tell you, I was very proud as an Indian to see the infrastructure as it was in terms of the stations and so on. And I was extremely proud as a Canadian to be seeing the train there, which you can see in this picture below, from Bombardier. The entire network of trains is supplied by Bombardier. So they are very, very valuable partners to the railway network in India. The road network, again, India is extremely well connected as far as the road networks are concerned. It has the third largest road network in the world. We have, the picture you see here is the Bombay to Pune Express Highway. We have highways right across the country, and the four main cities of India are connected through a network called the Golden Quadrilateral Network, which looks very similar to this, and is something that connects the entire country. Ports of India, we have 12 major ports across the country. Like Canada, India has a huge coastline on both the east and the west, and therefore we connect from the east to Vancouver, and we connect from the west to Halifax and Canada's western ports. Usual sailing time is about 4 to 6 weeks based on where you are. And ports are basically located at all strategic points in the country. The Indian economy during the time of independence was originally an agrarian or agricultural economy. However, as the years have gone by, it has become more and more sophisticated, and today services accounts for 55% of the Indian economy, followed by industries at 28% and agriculture at 17%. We have a sophisticated regional and national stock exchange, very similar to what we have here in Toronto. In fact, all your trades again are real time. You buy a stock, you get an automatic message on your mobile phone stating that so and so transaction has taken place. You draw money from your bank, you get an SMS on your mobile phone, you get an email immediately telling you that so much has been debited. You buy something on your credit card, you instantly get message. So therefore, if you've lost your credit card, you will know. You cannot really avoid the fact that information is really available there on your fingertips. The currency is the rupee. The rupee is presently going through a bit of a tough time against most dollar currencies. One Canadian dollar at the moment equals 55 rupees. This was as against 45 rupees just about 1 year ago. So there's been a sharp depreciation. Ned may explain a bit more about this, but I think one of the main reasons is because India is a huge importer of oil and is extremely dependent on its oil requirements from other countries.